The 10 best movies on Netflix right now. Your entertainment guide, Moovi.
A whole virtual universe.
We live in the age of nostalgia, but Ready Player One takes that to the next level. In Steven Spielberg's adaptation of Ernest Cline's hit novel, the middle of the 21st century is such a hellhole that nearly everyone has retreated to the virtual world known as Oasis, where they can enjoy every bit of pop culture from the last century or more. Wade Watts, Ty Sheridan, is one of the best Oasis players in the world, and so is his new ally in Crush, Art 3 Ms., Olivia Cook. But they aren't the only ones vying for the ultimate prize that Oasis creator James Halliday, Mark Rylance, left behind. Whoever solves Halliday's puzzle wins the Oasis itself, and IOI executive Nolan Sorrento, Ben Mendelsohn, is willing to kill to ensure that his company walks away with everything. American Assassin features former Teen Wolf star Dylan O'Brien as Mitch Rapp, a young man who loses his fiancée, Katrina Harper, Charlotte Vega, to a terrorist attack. That's why Rapp dedicates his life to getting revenge on the men who murdered Katrina, only to have his vengeance snatched away during a CIA raid. CIA agent Stan Hurley, Michael Keaton, soon realizes that Rapp is a potential asset, and he convinces him to join the CIA's Black Ops team, Orion. And for the first time since Katrina died, Rapp has a purpose again. But Orion has plenty of enemies of its own, and one of the team's ex-members, Ghost, Taylor Kitsch, has plans to unleash a nuclear nightmare on the U.S.
Kill me.
Open your eyes!
No way!
Come on! See how much better that is, kid? Gotcha!
Almost everyone is afraid of the dark when they're a kid. The problem with Orion, Jacob Tremblay, is that he's scared of everything, not just the dark. The animated adventure, Orion and the Dark, gives Orion a chance to conquer his fears alongside an unexpected companion, the living embodiment of dark, Paul Walter Hauser. Rather than let this kid lose years of his life to a laundry list of fears, Dark takes Orion out for a wild night to prove that he doesn't have to be defined by the things that he's afraid about. It's a gesture of friendship from Dark, but can Orion finally let go of his phobias and embrace life?
Allow me to introduce the other night entities.
There's more?
We're fun.
X was one of 2022's most acclaimed horror films, and it had a star-making turn by Mia Goth in the dual role of a young woman named Maxine and an elderly woman named Pearl. In the film, Maxine and boyfriend, Wayne Gilroy, Martin Henderson, attempt to make an adult film alongside their friends Lorraine Day, Jenna Ortega, Bobby Lynn Parker, Brittany Snow, Jackson Hole, Scott Mescudi, and R.J. Nichols, Owen Campbell. However, the group didn't clear their X-rated intentions with Howard, Stephen Ure, and his wife, Pearl. And they certainly didn't expect Pearl to become amorous over their activities. But when the group rejects Pearl's propositions, she makes sure that the young men and women suffer the consequences during her bloody rampage.
Maybe now there is.
Fuck yeah.
The infamous GameStop short squeeze was dramatized for the big screen in Dumb Money. Paul Dano headlines the cast as Keith Gill, an armchair investor who notices that hedge funds and other big market players are betting that the video game retailer GameStop will go under. Instead of letting that happen, Gill and others like him drive up GameStop stock to unsustainable highs and cause the professional investors to lose millions. There's no shortage of stars in this cast, which includes Pete Davidson, Vincent D'Onofrio, America Ferrera, Myha'la Herrold, Nick Offerman, Anthony Ramos, Seth Rogen, Talia Ryder, Sebastian Stan, and Shailene Woodley. There are also plenty of shattered dreams, as many of the amateur investors lose everything they put into the GameStop stocks.
Yeah.
We're like really fucking rich.
The best sports movies tend to be underdog stories, and Ricky Hill, Colin Ford, definitely fits that description. The Hill adapts the true story of Hill, who was born with a degenerative spinal disease that forced him to wear leg braces as a child. As Ricky grows into a young man, he develops a talent for baseball and a love for the game. Despite his physical challenges, Ricky decides to shoot for a career in Major League Baseball, which fosters conflict between his parents, Pastor Hill, Dennis Quaid, and Helen Hill, Joelle Carter. Regardless, Ricky won't be deterred from his dream, no matter the cost.
All your hopes?
I cannot do this alone.
King of the jungle, Tarzan. Tarzan.
After the success of Barbie, it would probably take a lot to get Margot Robbie to come back for a secondary role like she had in The Legend of Tarzan. But this 2016 action-adventure film is impeccably well cast, with the Northman's Alexander Skarsgård as the classic pulp hero, Tarzan, and Robbie as his wife, Jane. After retiring from a life in the jungle, Tarzan lives in London with his wife and now goes by his birth name, John Clayton III. Regardless, Tarzan is compelled to return when enamored. The phrase "fake it until you make it" comes to mind when watching The Nest, which answers the often unasked question, what happens if you never make it? Rory O'Hara, Jude Law, has big dreams and aspirations that are seemingly just out of his grasp. After convincing his wife, Alison O'Hara, Carrie Coon, to go along with his plans, Rory moves their entire family back to his native England. Although the O'Hara family gets to live in an estate, their financial situation is dire, and Rory is not living in reality. As Alison and Rory's marriage starts to crumble, Rory makes a last grasp at a business deal that will either be his financial salvation or his utter ruin.
People seem to want everything and expect every need to be fulfilled.
What is happening? You are all strangers to me right now, all of you!
Let's go, come on!
The Florida Project is about as far from a Disney movie as you can get, but it's never far from the shadow of Walt Disney World. Poor Thing star Willem Dafoe stars as Bobby Hicks, the manager of a small tourist trap hotel that is designed for budget travelers to Disney's theme parks. One of Bobby's long-term residents is Hallie, Bria Vinide, the financially struggling mother of a 6-year-old girl named Mooney, Brooklyn Kimberly Prince. Although Bobby truly cares for Mooney's well-being, he is rapidly running out of patience for Hallie as she endangers her child and dips into sex work to survive. Not everyone can be happy in the self-proclaimed happiest place on earth. And this is a story you won't be forgetting anytime soon.
She's about to cry. I can always tell when adults are about to cry.
Netflix may have a real Oscar contender on its hands with Society of the Snow, a Spanish thriller by Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom director J. Bayona. This film is not the first to tell the story of the survivors of 1972 Uruguayan plane crash, which was most notably the subject of the American film Alive in 1993. However, Bayona's movie goes to far greater lengths to be authentic than the previous adaptations, including bringing production to the actual site of the crash and utilizing the real accounts of the survivors. Most of the cast members are also newcomers, which works in the film's favor because it keeps the audience in suspense about who will live, and how far they will go to survive.